Hello, and glad you are here to join us. Today we're going to cover a few topics on economics and finance. And guess what? I'm introducing you, if you're still here, to be a member of the Blueberry Billionaires Club. Yay! By Annie Lewis of My Green Balance. I created the Blueberry Billionaires Club because it's about connecting with like minds who are wanting to make an impact on the future of the world, economics, and have intellectual discussions. So stick around if you are part of the now created Blueberry Billionaires Club. Possibly, you may even be a Blueberry billionaire in the process of becoming a trillionaire. Yeah, you heard right. Okay, so we want to cover a few topics like digital money, old money, and new money, but also I feel like there are concerns that I have sometimes, like I want to be able to get on a plane, move around different islands, countries, without having to think about changing currencies and converting, one currency to another currency and cash this, cash that. I want a system that can flow with my phone and make it an easy process. We can acknowledge mostly that many of the current systems in the world are just not suitable to the flexibility required for people growing a brand or a business. Now, let's start with creating habits or looking at the current systems. I think would be a good place to start. So let's say, for example, in digital world, there's digital money, there's gaming, there's cryptocurrencies, blockchains, and all of these like meme coins and what is it called from that artwork stuff, NFTs, and nothing is really in concrete or cement. It's mostly all frivolous gambling or gaming and art and tech stuff. I feel it's been a lot of testing, building communities, thinking about, Ethereum as gas or fuel to invest into different coins, aka projects, and having that be able to translate into the real world in dollar value. Now, this is all fun and games. However, when we are talking about the real banking and finance world, when it comes to investments and real old money and new money and how money is being stored, stashed, moved to be invested with the best amount of percent return on income or investment trades or in the stock market, right? So when I've been researching, I've been looking at, the US dollar is the world reserve currency and it's currently backed by cold, hard gold. And I was wondering, because the US is only one part of the world, but the rest of the world is so much bigger. And for this to be the US, the reserve currency of the world is kind of interesting because a lot of trade and business is happening on a different economic and socioeconomic level today in 2025, as opposed to how it was happening in the 1700s, 1800s, 1900s, etc. So I personally think, while everyone is having debates about this, that the US sticks to the gold being the reserve currency. However, if different dollars are coming up as higher means of value because they are experiencing larger amounts of trade, maybe they can be pinned with other metals such as nickel and bronze and copper and lead and different metals to have stability or reserve currencies around the world, etc. These are basic ideas so far that will be developed further in detail. And I just put together a draft of my thoughts. But think about this, right? NFTs, for example. NFTs went through this huge hype cycle and people were spending millions of dollars on these art pieces and having these NFTs, and it's all play money. It's not like your normal middle class income person that's going to be playing with that kind of money and just splurging on, digital gigapets and technology and games and stuff, right? Pokemon trading, all those fun stuff. That is more so when you are so rich that you just want to have fun money to throw around. And it can go a few ways. So let's say the digital money so far has a reputation of gambling, sex trade, because of OnlyFans and like people making money through that, and scamming and theft. And I don't see it having a good reputation outside of the courses, education spaces. And maybe there's room to create a digital economy, also gaming, as I remember Facebook had like Farmville and all this gaming that they would get a lot of money and marketing in the online world. But if we were to create some new system that works, that is translatable into the 3D world, that's where my mind's at in creating that, but also having it be legalized in whatever manner. The reason, again, I like XRP as the best coin is because it is aligned with the real financial system and banks. And to have a bank account is so exclusive that you don't want to mess with that. And I don't think Bitcoin or digital gold should replace the value of real gold because, yes, there's a lot going on in the digital world as a part of our human existence, but in the physical world is really where it's at. So I guess maybe it's just different markets that they're trying to communicate these stuff to. But I don't think that the US should also print a bunch of money either because that will devalue the dollar. But is it possible that they can retain back all of their US dollars to put it back into their economy and or create a new system where there's a system aligned with, let's say, the insurance companies where you get to make your salary, stash your money in an insurance fund that also has the ability to generate income and have a high return on those investments due to percentages that are higher than the current banking savings rate. So if everybody can advance faster in the financial systems, then people can build more houses faster and the whole economy can work faster without people having to really be slow and sluggish in the development of the economy. And then whoever's there already can play games and still make money online kind of vibe, So the engineering behind this probably needs a shift. And the question further includes how to implement it, who gets in, who's on the team of building. And I would say probably node owners are the most important to factor in, what's okay for the new world economy and if it's all going to be done online and what should be classified as X, Y, and Z. Like let's say, for example, you all want to keep the sex trade and corn industry and so forth all in a thing. It should be gambling, sex, whatever, and corn in one category where people know that's what they're signing up for instead of getting scammed into a space to spend money for all of that. So if there's like a banking system that's required to take care of that, it should be pretty clear. But other than that, the traditional banking systems and finance should be able to continue to operate with class, but also have incentives that it can flow, that everybody can increase financially in a systematic way through moving money around in different funds and etc. That by the time you reach 65, you get $1 million. I mean, what is that going to be worth by the time you're 65? That's going to be like worth $100,000 today. So that whole process needs to be sped up. Like if we're putting money into a fund at 25 years old, by 28, that should reach $1 million. Like that needs to be sped up. And that should be where the focus is what I think. Anyway, more to come on these topics. The ideas of rules of money, the rules of the game of money, 1900s, 1950s, 2000, 2025 and beyond. I mean, we have space travel now. We have innovation hubs, tech giants, Amazon delivery web services. So it's just a fintech revolution, time to be upgraded now. And I mean, it's a good job for me to do. Okay, Blueberry Billionaires Club. See you soon again.